Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, it is a new year. We're bringing in a new year. We had a full year full of products, new launches, new things that I discovered. So I'm here to bring you my 2022 favorites. And I mean, we have some stuff here. I don't think it's a lot, personally. Could have been way more, but when I when I was grabbing everything, I kind of really was like, there's not a lot here, but I mean, it's enough to, of course, to film a video. But this year, I think I was a little bit stricter, or was more strict. What is the right word for that? I didn't buy a lot of makeup because I wasn't excited about a lot of launches happening, or, you know, this collection was good, but only certain things were good from it, or, you know, something like that. I just didn't want to I didn't feel the need to spend a lot of money on makeup this year. And I did, of course I did, because duh. But I think whatever I have here have become a lot of my staple products. And that's kind of how I am shopping now. Is this gonna become a staple product that I'm gonna wanna use often? And if the answer is no, then I don't wanna buy it. Now there is things that I have, of course, given into hype, which I can explain, of course, but yeah, I just wanted to break down my 2022 favorites. So if you wanna know what they are, then keep on watching. I think I'm gonna just go in order of like my routine. So I'll start with skin prep. So this is the year I discovered and started using the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA BHA Pore Tight Toner and the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dew Drops. So I use both of these together in my routine, and now I feel like I have been gooped and had, because I can't do my makeup without these now. And these are not the most affordable product, I will say. Glow Recipe, of course, is a well-known skincare brand. They have a bunch of staple products, such as these two. I think are some of their staple products. I think they have like a top 5. Well, you know, they're not a big brand, but they have a lot of products that are a staple. Say staple products again, I swear to God. To just make make the makeup go on so well. My skin loves both products. They have a little bit of fragrance to them, but I don't think it's a synthetic fragrance. It smells very natural. It's very watermelony. It's very refreshing, but it's not sugary. It's not like artificial. So that's why I like these, and I have really, really grown to love these. But I will say I do not like these for my everyday skincare. I feel like this is makeup skincare, you know what I mean? Like, I would never use this as my nighttime skincare or my daytime skincare. Like, these are strictly for makeup for me anyway. And I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I only use these for makeup, and I think they only work that way. But that's just me. Another skincare item I fell in love with this year was the Clarins Double Eye Serum. Now, this is amazing. I have the Clarins Double Serum. I'll shoot a picture of it here. I have that in my restroom, but this is the eye version. So the whole thing with Clarins is they're plant-based, they're more, you know, conscious of a brand, but this is their double serum eye. They have a double serum face, but this is a serum and an eye cream in one that dispenses at the same time, and I love this. I love this so much. I use this before my makeup and as my nighttime skincare because I love this, and I do layer it. I layer it with my other eye creams. I love this. This has definitely become a staple in my skincare routine, and I love it. Earlier this year, I got to meet the team of Good Molecules. They were nice enough to put me on their PR list, and with the PR list, they sent me a lot of their skincare, including my skincare fridge, which I have right in front of me. I, of course, will shoot that up as well. But I have so many staples of Good Molecules skincare now that I just can't live without anymore. And they have become a part of my regular routine. So I have the glycolic exfoliating toner, the after cleansing before my moisturizer. This is the pineapple exfoliating powder. So it is a loose powder that you mix with water, and it gives you a nice exfoliation that's not too harsh on the skin. I have the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. This is another product that I love to use before makeup because it is very depuffing. It has a little bit of stickiness to it before it dries down, so it's great for like concealer. I have the BHA Clarify Cream. Now, of course, I do have acne-prone skin. I like to use this more as like a spot treatment, more so than all over the face, and I think it really works in that sense. So, Good Molecule Skincare, of course, has... Oh, I have it in my shower. I'm using the salicylic acid acne foaming toner. Cleanser. I'll show a picture of that here because I don't remember what it's called. And then they actually just sent me their new launch. This is the Sheer Mineral Sunscreen. I have not used this yet because I'm going through a couple sunscreens and I don't want to, of course, you know, I want to be able to experience it. I want to be able to use it. So I have not used this yet, but I will. So I will look forward to this in 2023 and maybe you'll see this at the end of the year. More skincare products that I have loved this year. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Glycolic Acid. This is 10% glycolic acid. I have made a pretty good dent in this, I feel like, for a serum because I am not the most consistent with serums, I will say, but I love the way this one leaves my skin. It has glycolic acid, hyaluronic acid. Glycolic acid is great for texture overall. I do love it for my textured skin. It does really smooth. It kind of tingles a little bit, so it really just gives you that sense that it's like doing something. So I love a retinol. So I love a retinol, and the retinol that I discovered this year was the Shiny Darden one. This is, it's a glass bottle. It's got a luxe pump. I do like this. I think this is pretty strong. So I only like to use this like once a week, and I've been really into it. I love a retinol for my skin. I have kind of figured out that with chemical exfoliation, I really do like more than physical exfoliation. So I've been on that kick lately, which is why I have, so many products that exfoliate the skin. And it really has been working for me. So I feel like those are some skincare products that I really have loved. And I don't really think I fell in love with a new primer this year. I've been using, of course, my Tarte primer, my Tula primer, something that I use often as well. My Bobbi Brown Vitamin Rich Face Base is another product that I use a lot. But I didn't really fall in love with a new primer this year, so moving on. Foundation. I have a couple foundations that I lived for this year. One of them being the Rare Beauty, I don't remember what this is called. I think it's Always an Optimist foundation. I don't remember. But I love this foundation. It is full coverage, but it has such a liquidy texture. Of course, you shake it up. It's what I'm wearing right now. It has a great texture. It really blends out very evenly. It's not heavy on the skin. I don't think it's overly hydrating. I have oily skin and I don't think it's overly hydrating, but I love it. I actually have to stop myself from reaching for this every day, which I think is that's a telltale that you're in love with the product. So I've been really into the Rare Beauty foundation. Another foundation, actually surprising enough, this is not a new one. This is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. I recently got my hands on this and I really like it. It's a really good formula. So you're able to use it as a concealer, or it also has a pump at the top. I recently got my hands on this. I love the color. This is a TG6. I love the color. I think it's a really good color for me. I love the formula. It really does blend. It's really full coverage, but it's not heavy. Sometimes if I'm feeling real adventurous, I'll mix these two together, and it's a great combo. Another combo that I love with the Rare Beauty is my Fenty foundation. I think these two complement each other very well and work very well together, so I think that's fun. So those are two foundations that I've really been into, that I really reached for a lot this year. And moving on to concealer, the Rare Beauty concealer. I love this. It's the same kind of idea as the foundation. It's got a really cool doe foot. It's I don't know, triangled or something. It's cool. It's really nice. It's really precise to get right up in there. And it's full coverage but thin. It's very hydrating. It blends out like a dream. I love the way it looks. And I love Rare Beauty complexion. I actually have another Rare Beauty product, but we'll keep moving. But a concealer, this is kind of like a, not a random find, but this is the Beauty Creations. This is the Flawless Day Concealer. This is a full coverage concealer. I'm wearing this today. It is full coverage. It's got a big old doe foot, of course, but it's full coverage in such a weird way. It's thin, but spreads. This is such a good concealer. This is in the shade C12. I think this is also a newer launch for them. I could be wrong, but I love it. This has made me want to try more Beauty Creations. They actually released a loose powder that I'm really really excited to try, but love that. I'm really excited to explore the Beauty Creations brand as a whole. So I think you'll be able to see that more in 2023. Moving on to powders. This was a year of powders for me. I tried a few different ones, and there's a few that I like, but I'm not ready to say they were my favorites. I tried them a little bit later in the year. So some powders that really did stick out to me, I have 4 right here. So one of them being the Maybelline Lasting Fix Banana Powder. This is so good for the affordability. And it doesn't come with this, but I put a little like sponge in here because I really like applying it with this sponge. But it is so finely milled. It feels almost like an HD powder. It's so smooth. It's so brightening. It really does blur the under eye area. I like to bake with it because it really does like brighten up anywhere you put it. It is such a solid formula. I think I bought this for my kit as well, my makeup kit, and I love this. I've like recommended this to so many people. I love it. This was a great discovery from the drugstore because there's not a lot you can work with at a drugstore, unfortunately, but that is one of them. These are all 3 of these are banana powder, so I mean, just take it with what it is. I love a banana powder. I love a bright under eye. You already know this. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I love a bright under eye. So I will do anything to achieve that. Another great find that I had was the Jaclyn Hill Brightening Banana Powder. I have used this in so many videos and so many reels / shorts. First of all, I love the shade of this because it's not overly banana. It's a little bit deeper. I don't know if that's the correct word, but this is so like it has a denseness that I love to it. Like it's a little denser than the Maybelline one, but that's I think a good thing because I'm really able to like pack it on and then brush it away without necessarily baking it, and it makes my under eyes look so flawless. I love the packaging. I think my only one complaint about this is that you get 0.21 ounces of product, which is not a lot of money. And I think this is a little bit up there in price, if I'm not mistaken. Again, you get 0.21 ounces of product in here, and it costs $29, which is not super affordable, but I think a loose powder is something that I don't see myself going through the whole thing for a while, but I mean, that's the only complaint that I have, because in the Maybelline one, you get the same amount of product. Yeah, you get the same amount of product in these two. So of course you look at these two and you're gonna say, well, that is not true. But that is one thing where companies get you. Like, this looks like it's gonna have so much product, but it has the same amount as this one. And I think this could even be smaller, but that's neither here nor there. I do love this. I have used this so many times. I love Jaclyn Cosmetics, you know that. I have so many favorites from Jaclyn Cosmetics this year, but I think just take this with a grain of salt. My third and final banana powder of the year is the Dermablend Illuminating Banana Powder. Now this was a super surprise hit for me because I do not like the original Dermablend powder, the white one. So I was a little bit hesitant about this one. Same thing with this one. I love the tone. It is a little bit lighter. So this will be super brightening, and it can be super brightening. But I love this. I feel like is completely different than the original one. It feels so buttery, so smooth. It like blends into the skin. It doesn't leave like a cast. I can't believe that it took me this long to figure this one out. It says illuminating, which I guess it just means brightening, because there's no like shimmer in there. There's no mica in this. At least I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. But it is definitely not shimmery or at least from what I can see. I mean, it definitely, actually, you know what? This might have a little bit of like a luminosity to it, but it doesn't look like glitter. I don't know. This is I can't, like, I'm just speechless when it comes to this powder, because I didn't expect to like this as much as I do, but I love this. It is so good. I can continue seeing myself use this long term, and maybe even repurchasing, which is a big deal considering I have a whole plethora of powders that I would like to go through before. This is 0.63 ounces of product, so a little bit more, like kind of triple than the Jaclyn or the Maybelline powder. And it is, so this is $29. You see what I mean? 0.63 ounces, and the other one is 0.21. So it is exactly 3 times the product, and it's the same price. So that's what I'm telling you guys. When you shop smart, but I don't know. That's just my 2 cents about it. I have a whole video that I think I'm gonna do this coming year about stuff like that. Really looking at how much product you're getting for the price, really shopping smart, but that'll be for a later time. And then the last powder that I have in my favorites is the Rare Beauty setting powder. These are a little bit different than the other setting powders I have mentioned. These are actually shaded. So I have the shade medium and light medium, and these are a different formula. These are illuminating. These have like a little bit of like a soft pearl to them. I use this all over the face to set my face today. So it is lightweight. It is not heavy on the skin. It is colored in a skin tone type of way, not in a, I would say, makeup kind of way, like banana, lilac, whatever. So these are a little bit different. I think medium is slightly a little dark for me, but light medium is too light. So I hope later on there's like a shade expansion or something, because I do mix these, or I'll use light medium under the eye and just set my face with this. Like if my foundation's a little light, I'll just set with this. But it is borderline a little bit too dark. But I love this formula. It is very soft. It's not like, doesn't feel like makeup. It's not very dense. I actually like using this powder with like a fluffy brush like this, which Rare Beauty of course has their own brush like this, but I did not buy it because I don't need it. But I've tried using it with like a brush, with a sponge, and like pressing into the skin, and I don't like the way it looks. So I do like to just like take a little bit in the cap and then kind of just like pat and swirl. And I think that's the best method to use that powder. Well, on the powder phase, I'm gonna talk about my Jaclyn Cosmetics Brightening and Setting Palette. So of course, this is a palette that has 4 different shades in it. And you can use this all over the face, under the eye, whatever may have you. I have used this ever since I purchased this. I don't think I don't use it in my makeup, because I use the banana shade up here to of course brighten. I'll mix the banana and the caramel shade together. Orange cream is great to like color correct, so sometimes I'll just set with this first. Then I'll go in with like my Dermablend, my Jaclyn, whatever, something to like really bake my under eye with, and then I'll go back and I'll mix the caramel and banana color together in order to get a really bright under eye. And then this color right here, this is hazelnut. I can actually use this to set my face makeup because it actually blends to my skin tone. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll get my beauty blender and I'll stamp right on in here and then really just set my face all over, and then go in with like a Laura Mercier translucent powder and set it again just so I can have that poreless like airbrush finish. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna stay here very long because I feel like I talk about this in every single video, in every single like anything that I have talked about. I mean, recorded this year, I have used this and I have shown this so many times, so I'm not gonna stay here very long, but I love this. This is everything. If you're gonna purchase anything from Jaclyn Cosmetics, this has to be one of the products. If you're a makeup artist, you need this. If you love a bright under eye, you need this. Everybody needs one of these, and I love it so much. So, moving on to more of a complexion standpoint. This was also a year where I tried a lot of complexion products. So I tried a lot of bronzers, I have a lot of blushes, I have a lot. So in this category, so a couple bronzers that I fell in love with is the L'Oreal Infallible Bronzers. Now, if you would have told me that I would have loved a L'Oreal bronzer, I mean, I don't know what I would have thought, but I love this. This formula is so silky. It is so soft to the touch. It is so blendable. It is so buttery. It is, I don't know what they did with this formula, but this is so good. I have the colors medium and dark. Now, dark, I love to like put on the outside and really like contour with because it's a little bit more, it picks up very, I think, cool toned, and I love the way it looks. And medium is perfect for just getting on a big fluffy brush and really kind of just like haphazardly kind of just bronzing the skin. I like to use it like on a, like this ColourPop brush here. Like I love to just pick up a lot of product and really kind of just like hit the perimeter of the face with it. I actually love to take like an eyeshadow brush, dip in here and contour the nose with it because it is such a good shade to contour the nose with. This is cool because it has like it has a mirror on the other end, but I love this formula. I think there's a formula in between, I think, like tan or something. And I think I'm gonna pick that one up because I already have these two and these two work so well for me. So I love these. Another Jaclyn Cosmetic product that I have is the bronzer. Now when Jaclyn released these bronzers, I was over the moon because there's, I think, 10 shades in this. And they're all beautiful. They're all great shades. The shade I picked up is Top Down, which is this super toasty, like borderline orange shade. And I could not be happier with a bronzer, like a medium tan skin tone. And bronzers are not the easiest to find for me. I have, of course, loved the Fenty Beauty Sunstrucker bronzer in Island Ting. And that has worked for a minute for me. I also love the Clinique. This is the Clinique bronzer in Sun Blushed. And this is kind of like a similar tone to the Jaclyn. I love these deep terracotta tone, borderline orange bronzers because that's what I want. I want a bronzer. I don't want a contour. I don't want a ashy, like too light bronzer. I want I want to look orange. I want to look bronzy. I want warmth. This is what I want in a bronzer. And I got that. And I've been so happy with this. I, again, use this almost every time I do my makeup now. It smells like hazelnut. It is so good. I want to pick up a couple shades in this. I love how big the pan size is. And yeah, I love this. I have, again, talked about this many times. So I'm going to move on from this, but you need this. This was my year of blushes. I think when I first started makeup, was into makeup, liked makeup, I never cared about blush. I knew blush was a part of like the makeup routine, but I never enjoyed it, at least for my skin tone. I felt like I was too dark for blush, or I never found a tone that I liked until this year when I found every single blush that I loved. So I'm gonna go through this list very quickly. One of them starting with the Clinique Pop Blush in Peach. I'm wearing this today. It is a baked formula. It is very blendy. It is very nice. It has a little bit of luminosity to it. I love this. I layer this with a couple other blushes, but I love that one. I have 3 blushes from Benefit. These are the new launches they just had this year. So I have Krista, Butterfly, and Moon. Krista, I think, is my top favorite. It is just a strawberry pink. It is so pretty. It's actually, you know what? Let's put a little bit on because I don't think I have enough on. I love blush now. I'm just that girl now. I love blush. I think it looks so pretty on my skin tone. I love it. Butterfly is an orange, like a straight up orange blush with some shimmer in it. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna like put that like right over here. I love blush. It is so good. I think now that I discovered blush, I can't go back. Moon is this gorgeous berry color that of course is very cool tone, so I'm not gonna mix it with these. This formula is amazing. The packaging is amazing. I love Benefit blushes, I always have, but these colors are just kicked up. I literally want every single color. Like, I want every single color. I think I'll get there. I think I'll buy every single color, honestly, because I think they're worth it. I think it's a great price point, great shade range, love. I, of course, discovered NARS Orgasm X. This is a kind of similar color to Krista. It is very shimmery, so I like to use it as like a blush topper. And yeah, again, very bright blush, love it. So the thing is, like, they look so bright, but then you put it on the skin and it just melts into the skin. Like, you just blend it. Nabla is another brand I discovered this year. This is the color Truth. This is I would describe this as like a baked product. It's very like a jelly texture. It like has so much pigment to it. I don't know if that's picking up on camera. Yeah, it should. Has so much pigment to it. It is just so blendy. Like, you just kind of like do a little bit of this action and then yeah, see? Like, it just, I love these. They have a bronzer in this formula that I like too. I just don't have it out right now. And I think the color I have is too light, but I love. Moving on to highlighters. I didn't buy that many highlighters this year, which lucky me. I did buy the Nabla highlighter. This is the same brand as the blush, but this is the highlighter in Privilege. It is just so, like, you have to use this with your finger because of the texture, but it is just so, like, look at that. Like, it just blends into the skin. Like, it doesn't look powdery. It doesn't emphasize texture. It just really gives you that glow that, it's just so good. It's just so good. I have been into discovering more from Nabla, and I really like these powder products, so love that. REM. Oh, actually, I forgot. A concealer. This is the REM concealer. Now, this is, of course, the pot concealer. I have a whole video on this. I love this concealer. I, again, have to keep myself from using this every single video. This is the REM concealer in medium 6W. The shade range of this is insane. It's so good. It's full coverage, but it doesn't feel full coverage. It doesn't look full coverage. I love this. This is amazing. I know it's in a pot, but I kind of like that because I'll just take it with a brush, or even just like use my finger sometimes and kind of just blend it out, but love. Another product from REM that I love is, of course, the highlighter. I have mine in Miss Mercury, but I had that on first before I put on the Nabla. Look at that. That is just so blinding. It is so powdery, like not powdery. The texture is just so good. It is so, I don't even know how to describe this. It is so soft to the touch. So much pigment comes off. So reflective. I love. I wanted so many colors in this. I'm gonna grab so many colors in this. And of course, I think 2023, I'm gonna explore a lot more of REM. I'm excited to see what else they're gonna do with their brand. So here's to more discoveries. Okay, so it is another day. After having some technical difficulties, I am back to finish the video. So where we had left off was eyeshadow palettes. Now, I didn't buy that many eyeshadow palettes this year in 2023, but I still have five to talk about. So starting off with one of my favorite launches of the year is the Lilo & Stitch X Wet n Wild Ohana palette. This was iconic because this is literally Lilo & Stitch in an eyeshadow palette. The blues were amazing. Of course, the pigment was amazing in here. They all blended. All the little stamps in the pans are so cute. I lived for all of them. The names are iconic. The whole palette as a whole and the whole collection as a whole was amazing. But of course, one of the staples was of course the eyeshadow palette for me. I loved it. I still continue. I have gotten a lot of use out of this. I love the glitter shades in here. Of course, like I said, the blues are amazing. I love this palette. I think this is like an iconic collection, and I think it was very much needed like on the market. Another palette I want to talk about is the Kylie Cosmetics X The Wizard of Oz palette. Now, whenever I saw this launching, this is a newer launch, but I've used every single shade in this palette now, and I gotta say, I do love this palette. I also do love the blush in here. Actually, I'm just gonna, because I don't have enough makeup on as it is. Why not? So I love the blush in here. This is something like, if this blush was sold by itself, I would totally buy this by itself. But pigment in here is great. I love the color story. I of course love the Wizard of Oz. I think this was something, in my opinion, this is something that Kylie's brand needed because it was different. It was more fun. It was definitely like more campy. It wasn't too random of a collab like her other ones have been, but this was more fun. I love the colors in here. I've used every single color now at this point, and the pigment is great. The pigment is actually blendable. The shimmers are great. I do think this was a good addition to my collection. This was kind of a spur of the moment kind of buy. It went on sale or something, and I just decided to pick it up. So this is the ColourPop Your Golden Pressed Powder Palette. This is one of their big palettes. So this is their 30 pan palette, and this is more, of course, browns, warm tones, neutrals. I wanted to pick this up because there was a couple shades in here that stood out to me, like this like navy blue color. The glitter up here is really cool too. It's like a blue with a lot of reflex in it. And of course, just some of these colors are just so beautiful and romantic to me. Like these browns down here, like these cool tones. Like I can even feel like I can contour with like this one. This was a cool palette. I think this was something I just wanted to add to my collection. Like this coral color right in here with the shimmers. I don't know. I thought it was cool. And it was on sale. So it definitely was a good buy because I have now used... I don't feel like I've used all the colors yet. Like I still want to dip into like this bottom color down here, or there's a lot of colors that I want to dip into for sure. They look really pretty. But we'll get some use out of this in 2023 as well. Now listen, it couldn't be a favorites video if I didn't have Jacqueline's eyeshadow palettes in here. Now, I know, okay? I know. I really am a Jacqueline stan. I love everything that she does for the most part. I have bought a lot of her cosmetics. I will continue buying her cosmetics, but she released 2 eyeshadow palettes this year, which was the Dear Mom, the Luxe Legacy. This was a whole Luxe Legacy collection with her mom, and there was an eyeshadow palette. This was the first eyeshadow palette formula in her brand, Jacqueline Cosmetics, that was in the collaboration. But this was this is a really good launch for her because all the shades in here are so good. I was wearing this previously in the first half of this video, And all the colors like are so blendable, they're so pigmented, they're so smooth, they feel so soft. The matte shades blend out so well. They have so much pigment to them. The shimmer shades in here are of course no exception. They're so blinding. They're so buttery smooth. The pigment in here is great. The blendability here is great. The it's just so good. It just and the whole collection was of course sweet. There was a lot of products that her and her mom collaborated on. There was a lot of new SKUs that were introduced with this launch. So it was cool. It was a really cool collection. I love this palette. I, of course, have gotten a lot of use out of this palette as well. And I will continue to use in the years to come. Now, the second eyeshadow launch for Jaclyn Cosmetics was Strawberry Feels. Now, this was what I needed. This is so cute. This is a smaller palette. So, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I always keep the plastic protectors. If it comes with it, I always keep it because I think it does conserve your eyeshadows a little bit better. I don't know. I have everything that comes with the plastic insert. I keep it. Plus, I don't want to be wasteful and just throw it away, but whatever. This is the Strawberry Feels palette. This is 10 shades, and I love them. This is a great palette. I'm actually wearing this today. So I have Lemonade, All the Feels, Berry Whipped, Sugar Coated in my crease, in the inner corner, on my lash line. I love this palette. I, of course, have a glitter from another palette, but I love this palette. I have used this palette so many times in different ways. I have used, of course, the like pinky tones. I've used the warm tones. This white is, let me show you. This white is white. Now, it's not easy to come into a matte white shadow that is like accessible. So when this came out, I was like, yes, white shadow, come through. But these are so, again, it's got to be the same formula because these are all so pigmented. There's only 2 shimmers in here, which I think is great because we need to focus on more matte shadows. I feel like these are, I can't say enough. This has to be the same formula because they're so blendable. They're so smooth. They just like look pretty. They're not patchy. They're just, I don't know. Jaclyn really did strike it with her brand formula of eyeshadows because of course her Morphe collabs were good, but this for her own brand is amazing, and I cannot wait for more eyeshadow palettes from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I don't think I tried any good, I don't think I tried any pencil liners that blew me away, but with liquid liners I did. I used the They're Real Extreme Precision Liquid Liner, and I have a whole reel on this, but I love this liner for the ease that it goes on. It just goes on so easy. It's so black. I love this. I like once I'm finished with this, I will definitely repurchase. It is a bristle tip that does not fray when you put it on. It comes in black and brown. It is so easy to do a wing. It is so easy to do the line on top. I love this. Another liquid liner that I live for was the Clinique High Impact Easy Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Espresso. Now, I've never been a brown liner kind of girl, but I love this formula. This is a reformulation of the liquid liner they had before, but it is definitely so good. It goes on so smooth. This is also a bristle tip, but you're able to get super precise with this, really build out your lash line with this, kind of really do a nice simple wing with this. And the espresso color is nice because it's dark, but it's not black. So it gives the look a little bit of like a pizzazz, I guess you could say. I don't know, it's hard to describe because if you use brown liner, then you know that it just is a different feel. It doesn't feel so harsh, it doesn't feel so linery, it just looks nice. I don't know, that's the only way I can describe it. So those 2 liquid liners I think stood out to me the most. Brow products. This was the year of brow products for me too because I tried out so many different brow products this year. And I have some favorites, of course. That's what this whole video is about. But I tried starting off with the Clinique Quick Liner for Brows. This is a micro pencil brow pencil, and this is so good for just creating like hair-like strokes and really kind of filling in the brow where you need to. I love this formula because it's a little bit softer than a formula that I really prefer is like Precisely My Brow because it's stiffer. But this, since it's so creamy, I can kind of just like really hold it kind of far away and kind of just do a little bit of this. And it really just fills in the brow without adding too much color. And then, of course, the spoolie on the end, I can just go ahead and brush it through. And it just looks so seamless and blended. I love to use this with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. Now, I know I'm late to the whole brow freeze trend, but this has a huge learning curve to it. And I don't care what anybody says, it does. Like, you can't just go in and go with the spoolie and then brush it through. Like, you can't. Like, you really can't. You have to sit there and really work in the product, brush it through, pat it down. Like, it's a whole process that I don't think is talked about enough. And but after I figured it out, I use this all the time now. And I love my Benefit 24-hour brow setter. Like, this is what I use all the time. But brow freeze is great because I can literally just brush up my brows, make them look laminated, go in with my Clinique pencil or the other product I'm going to talk about, and kind of just fill where I need to, and I have brows without it looking so structured or too blocky. It makes things look very natural and very, I don't know, very just effortless, which I live for. But I do have two Benefit pen products that I tried for the year. I tried the Benefit Micro Filling Pen. This is the 3-pronged brow product. So this is an ink pen that you just flick. So yeah, it creates these like hair-like strokes on the brow to make it look filled but not like super blocky. And this isn't like the most pigmented product, which actually I thought was going to be kind of a bad thing, but it actually works in its favor because it makes it look even more natural that it's not super pigmented. So it makes things look a lot more, you know, like it's really there. Like it's not just, you know, filling in your brows with like a micro, like it doesn't look like you're filling in your brows with like liquid liner or anything. It's a lot softer than that, which I love the way it looks. And then a newer launch from Benefit is the Gimme Brow Volumizing Pencil. Now this is a sharpen pencil that you just, it's more of like a powdery feel. This is what I have in my brows today, but it really is just something so effortless about this formula that you can kind of just like glide it through, brush it out, and it just looks pretty. It doesn't look heavy. It looks like it just gives your brow some color without it being super pigmented. This was, I think, something that Benefit did need in their brow wardrobe in order for them to be a competing factor with any other brand. Now they have it, so I live for it. Like I said, I haven't even sharpened this once since I got it, and I've used this so many times, and it still has so much product up top, but I just literally kind of just flick through and kind of just build the brow out and then brush it through, and it just looks so pretty. I love this. I have the shade 5. I think I'm gonna pick up the shade 6. In the Clinique pencil, I'm the shade Ebony, and in the brow microfilling pen, I'm deep brown. So those are just my brows. This is my brow journey right now. I'm kind of living for it. Today I did a little bit more of like a flat brow, so, but I've been loving a fluffy brow lately, especially when I have my brows laminated. I want to laminate my brows again, but that's a whole journey. So moving on, and we're kind of at the tail end of things, so I think the only thing I have left is like some lip products that I loved. This year I discovered Wet n Wild. These are the Color Icon lip liners. Now these are super long lip liners. Like, these are longer than I think any lip liners on the market. So this is an Urban Decay lip liner, and this is the Wet n Wild. Like, that's kind of crazy. You get a lot of product in here, and the colors are so good. So the other lip liner I've been obsessed with is Morphe Sweet Tea. Of course, this is not new. I know it's a very basic color, but I just finally picked it up. So I have Morphe Sweet Tea all over the perimeter. And then I put Urban Decay Depends on Traffic lipstick. This is such a good nude. It is like a light nude. Ugh, it is so pretty. I love to use it with like a dark lip liner like this. So I put on Morphe Sweet Tea lip liner. I put this right in the center, just kind of tapped it through. And then I blended it out with Chestnut from Wet n Wild, and I just kind of blended it through to give me this lip combo that I've been kind of doing all year in different variations. This has kind of just been like my go-to, a dark lip liner, a light nude, and like sometimes a gloss, but this has been my lip look pretty much all year. The other color I have is Willow. This is like a lighter, more like traditional, like nude color. It's like a rose tone color. It's really pretty. It just looks very effortless whenever I put this on. And yeah, these are the 3 lip items I have been loving and I have been using a lot. I've been really into Urban Decay lipsticks lately. Another one that I have is called 1993, which is a color they've had in line before, but it's like a dark, not dark, dark is not the right word. It's a deeper nude brown, but I love to kind of just use this on the edges sometimes. Yeah, I've been loving those lip products for me. I also have been loving, I have it in my bag, the Clarins lip oil. I have been living for. I'll shoot a picture of that here. Of course, it went viral. It's out of stock. It's a whole thing. But I have been loving that. That has saved my lips all season. I didn't bring it here because it's in my bag actually, because I carry it with me. I can't live without it. And yeah, I think that's all the lip products that I've been kind of like living for. I didn't discover a whole lot, but here's to new lip products this year. Another favorites that I wanted to talk about was a few like non-makeup related items. So I have been loving this was also my year of fragrances. I have 3 favorite fragrances right now, which is this is the Valentino. I think this is Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. I love this. You can kind of see like I don't know if you can see the coral color peeking through, but it's cute. I love the fragrance. It smells so good. Definitely like 2 spritz of this is enough because it is a very strong fragrance. The other one I have been loving is Azzaro Most Wanted Intense. Now I did a whole Instagram video on this because it is so good. It's so deep in fragrance and so musky, but it has this like sweet, fruity kind of like undernote to it that when I layer it with Ariana Grande, God Is a Woman, it brings it out and it just smells so good and I can't get enough of it. And then of course a classic Azzaro Chrome. It's just very fresh smelling. It's very clean. It is not very intense. I love the bottle. Of course, the bottle is great. I have a whole Instagram post about this as well. Love. Those were like my top 3 fragrances I've been loving. I've also been loving Dolce & Gabbana K. This is just a little small one that my bestie, Norma Jean, gave to me. So I've been just like living off of these little samples. I need to buy the big bottle. I'll get to it, but I just haven't. So I've been, of course, this has been one of my favorites for a while now, but really into it now. Another kind of random product I've been living for. This is the, I'm gonna butcher this name, Sashway? I don't know. This is the roller. It is stainless steel. It is heavy, like heavy. Like it is definitely not to be like, I can use this as a weapon if I wanted to, but I love this. I've been putting this into my skincare fridge. I'm not really like a tools person, but I love this because it really does, it is so cold all the time because it's stainless steel and it just like when you put it into the makeup fridge, or if your fridge, whatever, it just intensifies the coolness. And I love to use, of course, the like under eye attachment. Oh my god, this is so great. They also have a gua sha, and they have different skincare products that I have not dove into, and I probably won't. But the roller is definitely my fave. I think I'll get the gua sha too, because I don't know, I love this so much. I think I'll love the gua sha too. So thank you, Sashay, for upgrading my skincare routine. Yeah, I think that's all. I mean, I said I didn't try a lot of products, but I did try a lot of products, so I don't know. You tell me. Like, I had a lot of fun this year discovering a lot of new products. I had a lot of fun actually honing in on a lot of products that I have already loved and creating staple products for myself, because I think that's the most fun in makeup, is finding products that are going to work for you and keeping them and using them and seeing what actually like will go down in your routine as something that, you know, you can use for a long time or recommend to somebody. But this was fun. Here's to another year of makeup products, new launches, and just loving makeup as a whole. I want to thank you guys that were here on this journey with me all of 2022. Here's to 2023. I'm going to be pumping out a lot more content. I'm going to be a lot more consistent. I love this. I love makeup. I love reviewing makeup. I love putting on the makeup. I love it all. So thank you again for being with me for another year. And here's to a new year. Blessings to y'all. Blessings to everybody. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.